This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Yeah. I swear I outdo myself every single time. Blue Varane tea for the win. The herbal goodness does something to my spirit. Bless up, everybody. You don't know I am HINDZ, and today in hindsight we are doing a Q&A video today because last week y'all asked me a bunch of questions. There was over 200 questions. And let me be honest, I thought you were going to ask questions about like my personal life, things I don't really reveal on the channel. But nope, y'all don't care. I'm just joking. Y'all asked some of the best, soul-hitting, living our truth, stepping into our best version of ourselves type of questions. And I love it because we have created a space here, me and you, where we feel comfortable bringing deep questions to the surface. And I think that is beautiful. These are things we don't get to hear about in mainstream media, but for some reason we have cultivated a community here that is willing to learn, grow, that is open, and we are bringing things that are deep within ourselves to the surface, you understand? And we are being reflections of one another. So I want you to sit back, be present, turn off all notifications, grab your cup of tea. If you don't have one, pause the video, go make one. We'll still be here for you. And let's dive into these questions. First question by Noku Kanya. Wow, what a beautiful name. How does one move from understanding, letting go of limiting beliefs intellectually to actually doing it physically? Any tips and suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I love this one because we know faith without works is dead. We need to get into motion. We need to get into action. I have a little bit of a story to tell you. So in grade 10 or grade 11, I believe it was, I took a photography class in school, and my teacher, Miss Selden, hated me. And I don't know what it was. She just didn't like me. She told me I didn't have an eye. She failed me. Me and her would kind of war back and forth. Like, I don't know what it was. We just didn't get along. And I failed the class. She was that teacher that I felt like told me I wouldn't amount to anything, at least with photography. And guess what? In hindsight, everything looks just all right. I do visuals for a living now. But anyways, I'm sure we've all heard stories as well. I've watched interviews of other celebrities saying, or people saying, my grade 9 teacher told me I wouldn't amount to anything. Who are these teachers? Why do they do this? So when I have a limiting belief, there's a trick I like to do. I often look at my limiting beliefs as my sparring partners or Miss Selden, you understand? There was a point in my life where I didn't like my voice. And instead of over internalizing that limiting belief and believing in it, I said, that's Miss Selden. That voice in my head telling me that my voice sucks is Miss Selden again. And because we all have a little bit of pride and a little bit of ego, guess what? I like to utilize it at times. I like to utilize it to prove that limiting belief, Miss Selden, wrong, you understand? So if you have a limiting belief that, you can be a YouTuber, what do you have to do? You have to get in motion. You already know that. You have to get into action, but you have to stop internalizing that limiting belief. Stop saying it's true. Instead, prove it wrong. Look at it like that bully, that teacher, or that person you want to prove wrong that just told you you wouldn't amount to anything. Create a fake supervillain, you understand, and become the superhero in your own story. A lot of us work better, do better when we have a little bit of pressure, something to prove, you understand? If your parents told you you can't make a business out of being a creative, a lot of people wanted to prove the parents wrong. A lot of YouTubers you see, definitely a little bit of their driving force was they wanted to prove somebody wrong. Not saying it's the main driving force, but it's a little bit of fuel. So me, again, I don't like to internalize my limiting beliefs. I like to look at them and say, maybe this is an opportunity to challenge me, you understand? To challenge me to overcome this limiting belief, because on the other side of that limiting belief is a new skill. There's strength, there's creativity, a new experience, you understand? New confidence. And anytime I experience that, I just say, hey, Miss Selden, I proved you once wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong again, you understand? overcoming, letting go of our limiting beliefs. First, trying to understand where did it come from, right? Where did it come from? 2, recognizing you don't have to internalize that and believe it. And 3, challenge it, you understand? Use it as your big brother, the bully, Miss Selden, and prove it wrong. We all know you have to get into action. You have the ability to, say that with me, I have the ability to get into action. Although I may have been procrastinating, I can get into action. I am powerful. Say that with me. I am strong. You have to repeat these things to yourself as well. Build that confidence, cultivate that energy within yourself, and then we apply it to whatever we are trying to do. But your limiting beliefs can either be opportunities to overcome, or a limiting belief may be an opportunity to steer you in another direction. If I'm watching a boxing match or a UFC fight, and then an idea comes in my mind of being a UFC fighter, and then another voice comes and says, you can't be a UFC fighter. To be honest, I already know I don't want to go through all the training and the work and the resilience and all that it takes to do that. So I know that limiting belief is actually telling me, HINDZ, that's not what you truly want. You understand? So we need discernment. If it's something that you truly want, or it's something that you're truly trying to cultivate and there's a limiting belief, it's a challenge now. It's just a challenge to overcome. Look at it like Miss Selden, prove it wrong, you understand? And you will win. Let's get to the next question. That was a good one. I like that one. Okay, next question is, hey HINDZ, I love your content and especially your vibe. I am done with the person that I have become. I hate my habits and attitude to life. I am trying to change myself for the better. I have tried envisioning my better self in various different ways, but I am still unclear. My question is, how can one gain clarity about one's true purpose and intentions? Where does one get started? How did you get started? The beautiful thing about this question is you have already started. When you become sick of your current self and now you've set the intention that you want to grow, that is the first step, you understand? When I wanted to grow, I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with what I saw. That was the first step. That was the beginning of a new journey. So congratulate yourself, because some people are still comfortable in their BS. And when we get uncomfortable with it and we finally say, no, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of my habits. I am sick of the way I'm thinking. I want to grow. The path will unfold. Only problem is we want things to be so clear. We want clarity. That's just not how life works. You understand? I always say, uncertainty in our life has the spirit of a child. And what is a child like? A child is so curious, right? It has questions, right? It's constantly asking questions. And when you ask questions and you are curious, what is there? There's opportunity. You understand? That uncertainty in your life right now is opportunity. And instead of trying to focus and envision your final form, because it's a little bit unclear, isn't it? Don't focus on the goal, but focus on the habits that you believe will get you to that goal. You understand? So focus on eating better, right? Feeding our mind, body, and spirit, waking up earlier, going to bed earlier, the things that are going to develop us and build a stronger foundation in our life. Turning off our phone. I got an Apple Watch. My phone is off all the time now. This is my phone. There's no Instagram, there's no Twitter, there's no nothing. I got it hooked up by cellular, so I'm more present. A better habit. I was scrolling a little bit too much. There's a couple books I read, one Atomic Habits and one Deep Work. Both amazing books. Atomic Habits can really teach you a lot about reprogramming your habits. So I highly recommend you read this book because there's so much information in there. I just can't possibly squeeze into this segment. But Atomic Habits will help you with your question of instilling new habits. And stop focusing on the final goal. Stop focusing on who you think you will be if you can't see it, but focus on the habits that will get you there. You understand? We have to realize that the journey isn't always going to be sexy. There's going to be so many days we are unsure of ourselves, so many days where we feel challenged. Then there's going to be days where we are certain things are clear. That's just how it is. We have to embrace all sides, all seasons. And just know this journey starts when you set the intention. As soon as you set the intention that I want to grow and I am sick of my current self, I am sick of being in debt, I am sick of my attitude, I am sick of not being a happy person, the intention there, and now life will offer you experiences and challenges to get you to where you want to be. And a lot of us, we don't even know where we want to be, and that's okay, because life will reveal more to us. I love this question. I hope I answered it a little bit. I feel like you probably wanted like a strong, certain answer where things are more clear, but I can't give that to you. You understand? The uncertainty is actually the gift, but the fact that you are sick of your current habits and where you are, you're on the journey. You have started. Next question. Hey HINDZ. Oh, this is by Lena. Hey Lena. What are your thoughts on outer beauty and its connection to our confidence? Do you think that dressing up, trying to look good is just for outside validation, therefore blocking us from truly loving ourselves? Or is it valid to want to look a certain way to feel confident? I always feel confident when I wear makeup and cool outfits, but recently I have been questioning if that is something I need to work on. Sending you lots of love. Thank you. I love this question because I think this is something we all go through, men and women. There was a point in my life where I felt like I was a little bit obsessed with my outward appearance because I was masking insecurities. Obviously, I went on a self-love journey. I grew my hair, very natural, my beard. I don't even go to a barber anymore. But what I think it's beautiful to dress up. You understand? I think the way we dress, the way we style ourselves, the way we do our hair, when we get ready for the day and we look our best, that is a form of self-expression. You understand? That is creativity. Setting aside an hour, 2 hours to do your makeup and, turn on some music, drink your tea. Doing makeup is creative. Like some of the things I see girls do, I'm like, wow, that is creative. But I think if we can never step out or we never feel comfortable as our natural self, right, without the glitz and the glamour, then maybe that's where the question is coming in. Am I doing this for others or am I doing it for myself? Intention is everything. If you are dressing up and looking your best because you genuinely like to look your best and it makes you feel good and you just love to express yourself that certain way, there's nothing wrong with that, right? For some reason we're in that era where we'll glorify the girl. I'm gonna talk about more girls in this situation. We'll glorify the girl that's more natural, and then we'll demonize the girl that gets the hair and the makeup done. Both of them can have the exact same intention. Maybe they're just that's how they want to express themselves for the day, right? Just the girl who's wearing makeup doesn't mean she's masking some type of insecurity. Doesn't mean that at all. But if you find yourself asking the question and then you realize you're only dressing up so other people will like you, you're only dressing up because you're trying to hide how you feel about yourself on the inside, then I think it's time to start to embrace your natural self and find the beauty in that journey. You understand? I found the beauty in that journey. Obviously I never wore makeup or anything, but I used to get my hair cut every week. I had to step out the house, fresh fade, like just everything had to be perfect. And now, I'm a much more natural aesthetic type of guy, but I love to wear nice clothes. You understand? I love shopping. I like nice things. It's a form of expression for me as well. So this is a great question, but ask yourself, who are you doing it for? Am I doing it for me or am I doing it for somebody else? You understand? And I think that will give you the answer. And everybody out there, stop shaming people for trying to look their best. You understand? Stop shaming these girls for wearing makeup. You understand? Let people be who they want to be. We don't know their intention. I love that question. I feel like that was an important question to touch on. Next question. Dallas Garvin said, and I love this question. Hey HINDZ, how did you learn to trust yourself as an artist? When did you realize your artistry was not just a phase? I'm struggling with trusting my creative abilities. I'm kind of stagnant right now. Peace and love. I remember when I started to get creative, I was about 19 years old and I thought I started late. I didn't have any technical skills. I started to make music but I realized I had a little bit of natural ability, and that's all I relied on. Some days I could create, some days I couldn't. And then I went into a creative block that lasted a month or two. It felt like a year, but it was a couple months. And through that, I started to have some doubts saying, well, maybe this is just a phase. And I didn't like the way that sounded, so I said, no, I'm a lifer. I have a plan A and I have no plan B. I set that intention, you understand? I told myself, no, I am doing this. And then I showed up for myself. The days I didn't feel creative, I still showed up for myself. On those days, I learned the technical side of things, you understand? Or I did my best to find inspiration and still make something, make bad art, you understand? The difference between a good creative and a bad creative, or someone who doesn't create much, is a good creative knows how to get to it, shut the world out, you understand, and focus. You know how many times I said no to going to the club, going to coffee shop dates, to just living like normal life stuff? I'm not saying you should do this, but what I'm saying is a good creative, a good artist has the ability to shut the world out and focus on one thing for hours and hours and hours. And that's what I said. I said, I may not have the most natural abilities, but I have control and I can focus. I could work on this every single day. And the days where the creative energy was flowing right through me, I created. And the days it wasn't, I went and I learned the technical side of things. And I turned my creativity into a regime, just like a professional athlete, you understand? LeBron James, it's not game day every day. There's days where he's in the gym. There's days where they're just working out the legs. There's days where he's focused on his eating. There's different things he does every single day. So he's at optimal level for game day. I started to treat my creativity and my artistry the same way. I didn't expect myself to create something amazing every single day, but what I did expect was myself to show up for self. I fell in love with the discipline because discipline is freedom and discipline is actually comfort. I fell in love with the consistency, and through that, I developed trust for myself. And I stopped saying I'll be an artist when. I said I am an artist. So I got branding out there. I got a website out there. Even though I only had a couple beats and I only had a couple videos to show people, I still created myself to be a professional because I said I am a professional. And that's why our sponsor Squarespace is so good, because they are the #1 platform, from marketing tools to analytics to websites and online stores. They are the all-in-one platform to build a better, beautiful presence online. And I definitely recommend get yourself a beautiful presence online so you can see yourself being the artist you know you are. You understand? Get your work on a platform. Show up for yourself. Let me share a few products with you from Squarespace that I love. The first one being the connected social media accounts. Y'all know I have a podcast, I have a YouTube, I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have TikTok, I have it all. So Squarespace allows me to connect all my socials into one place to build a better home experience for my community, for y'all. Second product that I think is real cool, member Squarespace areas. This gives you the ability to create exclusive content for an exclusive community, a great way to monetize and build a business for yourself from your art. You can manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights all in one easy platform. And the third product that I love, extensions, which has very powerful e-commerce abilities, which every creative and artist is gonna need, because you're gonna have to sell your work, which is beautiful because we wanna see your work and we need it to be on a beautiful website. The thing I like about Squarespace is it's very easy to use. I didn't have any website skills, but I was able to make a website and show my video work and book clients. But these third-party tools can help you manage your inventory, promote products, streamline bookkeeping, reconcile and file sales tax, amazing, and ship items across the globe. So I want to hook you up, all the creatives, all the artists out there, all the individuals who are trying to start a business, because we are rising up this year. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/HINDZ to save 10% off your first domain or website. Next question. Sunray asked, what is one of your favorite childhood memories growing up, and how did it shape who you are now and who you are becoming. One of my favorite childhood memories is going to be a funny one. So in grade 1 in Burnaby, Canada, that's where I was living in Burnaby at the time, I had to do this speech in front of the class in grade 1. Like you have to present the board or whatever. And I was like quite nervous about it. So, I get ready, I do the speech and I stand up and I'm presenting it. And then I start to get all sweaty and hot. And then the next thing you know, I blanked out. I completely fell to the ground and I fainted like a rock. When I woke up, the whole class and the teacher were staring at me. Some kids were laughing and I was so embarrassed. And from that point, I developed a fear of public speaking. Now you may be like, Heinz, why is this is kind of traumatizing. Why is this your favorite childhood memory? It's my favorite childhood memory because it was my biggest fear my whole life, but beyond that fear was actually my greatest gift. That fear, that very thing I was afraid of, once I learned how to lean into it, it helped me become who I am. And I think we always glorify, the most happy moments and the things that seem beautiful on the surface. But there's these things that happen to us that are truly happening for us. I was the shy kid who didn't talk till I was 6 years old. I fainted at my speech. I had social anxiety, but now I speak for a living. That is how life works. There's so many beautiful twists and turns, and I love how if we can truly start to embrace our experiences and go beyond what is happening and ask deeper questions and say, hey, maybe behind this insecurity and this fear is actually something else. And I don't have to be afraid. I can just lean into it. And even if I am afraid, well, maybe I'll just do it afraid. I heard that one time and I love it. If you are afraid of something, it's okay. Just do it afraid. Being afraid doesn't mean you don't have to do it. You understand? Every time I step on a plane, I love planes, but every time I step on a plane and it's going up in the turbulence, I'm scared. But I just do it afraid. You understand? Put my headphones in and go. So that's why I love this childhood memory, because for me, it's a testimony that anything in life that I'm afraid of or I'm having some insecurities about, to me, I remind myself, hey, something great could be beyond that. You understand? Something great could be beyond that fear, Heinz. So don't shy away. Maybe lean closer into it and you will discover more of yourselves. Who said self-love and growth was supposed to be comfortable? No, it's all about being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Challenging ourselves is uncomfortable. A new creation forming inside of us coming out is growth is uncomfortable. You understand? Even when you physically grow, you understand? You put your body through so much, it hurts. Anybody that's gone to the gym, you know what it feels like the next day. You know what it feels like when your clothes don't even fit. That's not even comfortable, but that is growth. So for me, that is my favorite childhood memory. It's actually the most vivid memory I have. A lot of my childhood, I don't even remember everything in my childhood. It's quite a blur. But that is one of my favorite memories because it's a constant reminder. Even still to this day, I still am a little bit shy. Like, I know one day I want to speak on a stage in front of 20,000 people. Even though I speak every single day and I can flow my words really well and I understand speaking, I'm still scared of it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, because I think back to that kid who fainted, who never even thought he could do what he's doing right now. And I proved myself wrong. I proved little me wrong. I proved Miss Selden wrong, you understand? And you, my friend, you're going to prove everybody wrong who ever doubted you, especially yourself. Because who doubts us more than anybody else? Ourselves, you understand? So you don't know in hindsight everything gonna be all right. Those were a couple good questions. I really liked them. We have so many, this video literally could have been 5 hours long. And I try to trim my end. When I was looking at the questions, I was like, how am I going to keep this video under 20 minutes? I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna keep it under 20 minutes. So I mean, if y'all want a 45-minute video, y'all let me know. I don't know if you can handle that. But thank you for the questions. We have so many more to get into. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bless up.